what does it mean to become more feminine and to awaken our feminine energy as a woman in the world we live in today. If we look in society, there's a lot of misunderstanding about it, and also a lot of frustration in women that don't want to be how society tells us to be, or how we should dress or look, or what we should do to be more feminine. Yet there is something inside of us that does wish to really truly be ourselves. And Tantra comes with a very beautiful perspective on this. It gives us a very non-conformational or not influenced by culture or society, but looking at the principle of what does it mean, femininity. And Tantra expresses the feminine as the energy of life, the power of creation, the visible expression of this manifestation. And now that might sound a bit vague or cosmic, but actually, if we want to understand, we can see how, for example, nature expresses itself through 5 elements. Not very complex, quite simple, yet very complete. So we can see how nature is manifesting through the element of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And these 5 elements together make up this beautiful world that has such a variety of expressions. And so the same inside of us women, when we discover that these 5 elements are actually in our being awakened or kind of repressed to a certain degree, we can really discover how to awaken fully as women, so we can become as alive, as diverse, as creative as life and nature itself. So if we look, for example, at the element of the earth, which provides a certain kind of stability, it's the grounding of things. Also that which gives this abundance that just grows and grows new things, that can feed and nourish everything. We as women have this capacity. Yet when, for example, we haven't learned how to nourish this earth element inside of us, we can feel like, I'm drained, I'm tired, I don't have anything to give, I'm just giving, and what do you ask me to give? So here we can balance this energy of earth inside of us to, first of all, become very attentive, to tend to your own inner nature, to take care of yourself so that you are always in the state of abundance, realizing that you can offer, that you don't somehow give from your own pockets, but that as a woman you can become a channel of this abundance of the earth, which is always overflowing somehow. And then the second element would be the water, which in nature is a very flexible, fluid flow of things that can be characterized by this ability to be unstained by whatever happens, adapting to whether there's garbage coming into the river, whether the river has to flow around the rocks, that always finds its way somehow. And this is, again, a very feminine quality that gives us a high adaptability, that a truly awakened feminine woman can always find a way to flow with whatever life throws at her, to be very creative, to be very spontaneous, to be very adaptive, always find an inspiring way somehow to flow with what life actually offers. If we neglect this water element, we might become quite dry, quite stuck, quite rigid somehow. We have difficulty to adapt when something doesn't go the way we planned. And then the fire in nature can be seen as this power to rise, to alchemize, to transform whatever somehow is ready for something new, something better, something more evolved. And as women, we can have this catalyzing effect on our surroundings. A woman's presence can bring great transformation just through her being. When the fire is really awakened inside of her, then she sees life somehow as a continuous playground of opportunities. Where can I grow? What around me can go to a next level, can instigate in this way continuous change that brings something new, but not just because of a need for variety, but because there's a need of something better, higher, more evolved. If we lack the fire, then we might speak with a little low voice, and we might not be so confident to actually bring outside of us what we have inside and to express this feminine power that is naturally catalyzing transformation. then the element of the air, it's the element that brings a kind of connection that is between all things and that makes communication possible, that bridges whatever seems to be separate into something that communicates and even unite. It's also the air, the breath that connects us to life itself. So as women, when our heart is truly awakened, this is usually a sign that the air element is really flowing inside of us, that we have this capacity to bring connection where it's lacking, to really communicate, to bridge misunderstandings, to overcome conflicts, to bring a certain unity between communities, families, relationships. It's our capacity to bring this kind of togetherness, which the world is missing so much. When the air element is not there, we might feel a sense of loneliness or of separation, of isolation even. And then the ether is the most mysterious of all the elements and is that which connects us to the unseen. That power inside the feminine that is actually a bridge to the heavens, you could say, that brings little pieces of invisible paradise into the world. So it's the woman who knows how to bring inspiration, guidance, even wisdom, because her heart knows, her spirit is into the creation. She somehow is inspired, meaning she brings spirit into this creation by ideas that come to her. She doesn't know why, but now she knows what to do. It's a woman who has a connection to her spiritual power inside of her and who's also not afraid to actually bring that to others who need help and guidance, inspiration, but also to herself. And it's a woman who would feel somehow a certain kind of background state of peace and wholeness. She's home because she's already found, you could say. She's connecting to her essence, which is always connected to the supreme reality. So if we as women want to know, how can I be more feminine? It's a wonderful way by getting in contact with all the different elements of nature so that we can actually naturally awaken our femininity very, very fully. If you feel a wish to learn more about this and to actually practice together with a group of women how to awaken these energies inside, then look out for our next women's retreat where we will go in depth into the 5 elements in this very beautiful ambience in Thailand with enough time to also relax, be in nature, enjoy the pool, the spa, the sauna, and a lot of knowledge, lectures, and practices that will really get you in touch with these elements and awaken your femininity.
If you like this video and want to learn more about Tantra, about yoga, about psychology, emotional healing, lives of saints, and the scriptures,
then hit the bell, like, subscribe, and you'll never miss an upload. Thank you so much.